Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Being Human Now show. I'm your host, Jennifer Locksmith, and today our guest is Rae Ellen Sievert. Rae Ellen is a member of the Lightbody Academy, where she is an intuitive quantum astrologer. She works with the natal birth chart as a sacred map of the soul's journey, illuminating its mission, innate gifts, and the challenges that shape their expression. Drawing on a range of astrological techniques, she weaves together deep insights into both our human path and our starseed origins. With her intuitive guidance, Rae Ellen helps others align with their highest potential. She is especially attuned to the subtle language of astrological patterns and the nuanced degrees of planetary and stellar influences. Through this sensitivity, she channels profound guidance that not only reveals hidden truths, but also charts a clearer vision of one's soul's highest possibilities. Her readings serve as both a mirror and a compass, bringing awareness, clarity, and empowerment to the journey of becoming who you truly are. Her services include one-on-one astrology consultations and one-on-one starseed origin chart reading. Rae Ellen Sievert, welcome to the Being Human Now show. Thank you for helping us become aware of our powers and our purpose. We appreciate you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm so grateful to have you here. So today we're going to be talking astrology, and you're gonna give me a reading towards the end, so people get to see how you work and how a
Yes.
chart reading works. So thank you so much for that. I'm excited to get more clarity and confirmation about my life, my purposes. But before we get started on that, you've been doing this for over 50 years.
Yes.
Very
A long
cool.
time.
Yeah, well, that's awesome because you're just so learned at it. But what got you started on the path of becoming an intuitive quantum astrologer?
Well, I didn't know it was going to be all that, but I think it
Yeah,
unraveled over the years.
yeah.
Um, it probably started when I was a young child. I had a very challenging time in school. I was born in the 50s,
Mm-hmm.
and that was before ADD, ADHD, dyslexia, and all that was kind of like looked at and everything like that. So I was a very challenging, poor student. I had a hard time. My mother always said that I was smart until I went to school.
No, that's not true. You were just gifted. They weren't keeping up with you. But go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
So um, I think I came in with this, but when I was 7 years old, second grade, we would go to the library every 2 weeks, and there was a book. I saw a book there, and it said astronomy, and I wanted to take this book out. It was a book of the planets. I'm thinking, oh my God, I want to take this book out. And of course, my teacher said, you can't even pronounce that word, let alone take this book out. So every 2 weeks I would go back and I said, I want to take that book out. I want to take that book out. And so it ended up that after many times asking to take this book out, she says, well, if I can help you pronounce what it says, you can take this book out. And sure enough, she helped me astronomy. Oh my gosh, I brought this book home and I was in love. I was just in love with all the planets and especially Saturn. And Saturn is very prominent in my chart,
Mm-hmm.
and Saturn's a pretty planet anyway with all the rings and everything like that. But
Yeah.
so I think that that was my ancient connection of my remembering. And then when I was 17, my mother took me to an astrologer. And oh my gosh, she did this reading, and I wanted to become this is what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So back in the 70s, like I told you, mathematically, I wasn't very astute or anything like that. And that was before, kind of like right before computers. So in order to put a chart together, you had to do all the calculations by hand.
Oh my God.
So I'm 20 years old. I'm 20 years old. I'm going to take courses from this Mabel Troutman. And oh my gosh, I don't understand it at all. And so I kind of let it go by the wayside. And then I'm in 1974, I'm 6 months pregnant with my son, and they were offering an astrology course at a department store. And I
Oh.
signed up 6 months pregnant. and I'm going to learn this. And I am just in love with the planets and I'm in love with everything. And that was just on the verge of the computers coming in, where the computers would calculate the chart.
Mm.
So, but snail mail, we didn't have like instantaneous computers or anything like that. So I would send away for all the charts and they would come back a couple weeks later and then I would be able to do a chart reading and they cost $2 a chart. And so and then I started studying and I had all these wonderful teachers and I went to astrology conferences and I met all the people that I read the books of and it was like an amazing experience. So that was my beginning
Oh,
and
so cool.
just unraveled little by little.
Yeah, it's like it kept calling to you. It was
Yes.
like, oh, you're not getting away. This is what you're meant to do. It's
Yes.
awesome. So I would assume, I mean, you mentioned you were 6 months pregnant. I'm curious. I guess you did charts for your children once they were born. Was that cool to be able to kind of see who they were going to be and
Yeah, well, you know what? It's hard to read for those closest to you.
hmm
And it's
Yeah.
even hard to read your own chart because you need an objective view of what they're going to be. But both of my children have wonderful gifts, but they also have their challenges. I mean, they grow up, they're human having a spiritual experience as well, you know. So,
Yeah.
they have to go through what they have to go through to get to where they're going. But I can give them insight. And I have grandchildren now, and I often try to, and I'd say try because like my daughter and my son-in-law, they have their way of bringing their children. I said, but they have these tendencies because of this. And
Yeah.
little by little, I think that they're opening because I can see things and working out and why they have certain personality types. So it's just whether they want to be open to that. And sometimes they are, and sometimes they doing things their way.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and I've heard like really like psychics, and I think you're psychic too, right? I mean, there's an aspect to that which I'm gonna ask you about in a second, actually. Um, a lot of psychics say that it's hard for them to read themselves or like their loved
Oh,
ones. Like you said,
yeah,
it's too emotional. And then I've
it
heard of
is.
psychics that get psychic readings because they just can't read themselves. So yeah, that makes sense. So I mean, one thing I do want to ask you this, I didn't originally plan to ask, which I can't believe I didn't, but like what is an intuitive quantum astrologer? I feel like that's something people might be wondering about.
Well, I'm still trying to define myself, actually.
Yeah. But you're psychic,
I,
right? So that plays
I'm
into it.
psychic.
Yeah.
I'm very intuitive. I really believe astrology is an art, and
Hmm.
you can study the form and you can put it together. But a lot of my readings, I will work on the chart, and it isn't until I am in direct relationship with the person where the truth of what the chart is saying will come out. So it's an
Yeah.
intuitive level. I often, there's a term called psychometry. Psychometry means soul. Psych is soul,
Hmm.
and metry is matter. So it's reading matter. And sometimes people, if they have psychometry, they'll take somebody's ring and they'll hold it, and they'll be able to tell you all about the person. Well, it's kind of like I was a massage therapist as well. So reading the body intuitively, finding the soul of the body, that's what astrology is about. But it added quantum is because I have all kinds of modalities. I mix and match everything. I may forget something that I learned many years ago, and then I'll start doing a chart, and all of a sudden it will come to me, and I'll have to look that up and then blend it in. So it's that quantum knowing of so many things, and intuitively they come forth. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. Quantum is intuitive astrologer.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I love that. And I love that you pull different things in because this is, I mean, this is a big thing. This is big. We're amazing, complicated beings.
We
And our
are, we
time here
are.
is a lot. Um, so I mean, I feel like astrology, we kind of talked about this on the phone, how it's kind of coming back. People are realizing that this is like a science. This is, and it's ancient. And it's the real deal. It's not just like woo-woo stuff. This is, a legit thing. But I mean, you may have already kind of answered this, but like, what is astrology to you? Do you see it as like a science? Do you see it as?
Oh my
What do you
gosh.
see it as?
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Okay. It's a
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
It's a map to our being is a reflection of the cosmos.
Hmm.
So when a being on our 3D earth plane and now multidimensional, we're more multidimensional and we're waking up to that right now.
Yeah.
But when we are born and we take our first breath, what is in our, how the planets are aligned in our solar system, how they are aligned in the cosmos is kind of like stamped in our energy pattern for this particular lifetime.
Hmm.
Okay. So astrology to me is a reflection of the cosmos and how we are demonstrating that as we live our experience in our journey this particular lifetime.
Yeah.
Now, there are many children being born now, probably from the late 70s, as you that was the indigo children, and then they had the crystal children and the rainbow children. I can't keep up with all of them, but
Yeah.
all of these children are coming in with cosmic patterns to help humanity awaken and empower them in ways. And if you're receptive to that as a child and not overcome by the matrix, because often the matrix wants to shut down our intuitive qualities, so if you can make it through to becoming who you're becoming, then you can utilize your astrology chart at a very high potential.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think Dolores Cannon, well, a lot of people have talked about what you're referring to, the rainbow children, the crystal children. Yeah. And so that started in the 70s, you say, and it's just been
Well,
yeah.
I was
Well,
born in 1950,
yeah.
and I think it started coming in the late 40s.
Hmm.
I mean, actually, let's go back farther. I would say it was coming in the late 1800s
Hmm.
because there were the theosophists and
Yep.
all these ancient people, spiritualism started coming in the late 1800s, and it was kind of an introduction. And then little by little, it started coming in. And then I'm not even sure when there was UFO. I think I'm not sure what happened in the late 40s, but something happened with some kind of UFO thing. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, people started waking up. I mean, they just started waking up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was time. It was time
But we
leading up
didn't
to
know what
this.
we were waking up to. We just know that something wasn't quite the way we came down to it. Something
Yeah.
just wasn't quite
We
right.
got hijacked. We've been
Yes.
hijacked. Something's wrong here. I didn't sign up for this. You're like,
Wasn't,
yeah.
hey,
Yeah. Well, I think it's the schools, yeah, well, the schools part of it. Like you said, I had trouble in school too. And I think it's because we knew something was wrong with that. It's a system. And it's not meant to make us become who we're truly meant to be. It's just
yeah.
meant to make everybody the same. Um, One thing I love about your work is you combine Western tropical astrology and sidereal true sky astrology. And I love that because I think there's merit to both. I think there's truth in both. And I know a lot of people are very married to one or the other, but you combine both. What made you choose to start combining them?
Well, for me, astrology is always evolving.
Hmm.
And I was a Western astrologer for many years. And then, then I was part of a group where I was introduced to esoteric astrology, which was the astrology of the soul.
Okay. Okay.
And then little by little, I was introduced to Vedic astrology. Now, Vedic astrology, I, from what I understand, and Vedic astrology is adept. I have not been able to take all modalities of the Vedic astrology. I mean, it's very complicated. I haven't.
Yeah.
So anyway, that
Yeah.
said, but Vedic astrology is a 23 degrees different. It's based on the precession of the equinoxes.
Okay.
So over the years, when astrology was kind of like put into a program pattern of 30 degrees for each sign, and Aries is the spring equinox, and like Cancer is it the summer solstice and all of that. Um, oh, I lost track of mine.
It's okay. We're talking about Vedic astrology.
Oh, Vedic astrology. So,
Yes.
Vedic astrology is the precession of the equinoxes, and the degrees move back a degree every 72 years. So, therefore, it's 23 degrees difference. But then it still is a form or a modality of astrology where there's 30 degrees for each sign. So, a few years ago, I was introduced to sidereal true sky astrology, where what was presented was that each of the constellations are not set, where the sign of Aries is like 23 degrees, the sign of Pisces is like 30 or 40 degrees. Each of the signs are not exact. So, therefore, when you are born and you look up at the sky and you look at the actual constellations,
Hmm.
that is actually what you are working with. But because we have the program of Western astrology for almost 2,000 years, we have that overlay. So it does work for most people. But if you want to get into the depth and become soul centered, be part of the star seeds that are birthing a new reality, you overcome your Western astrology challenges and gifts or utilize those and you bring them to a deeper level. And then when you read for the person, you'll say, oh my gosh, that's truly who I am. So
Yeah.
it takes it to another depth of who you are.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I love that. Thank you for combining them. And I know that, a lot of people like, well, what's the difference? So Vedic astrology is different from sidereal and
Yeah, but
side.
yeah,
Okay.
it's yeah, because it's again divided into
Right.
30 degrees each
Right.
sign. And it's very
Okay.
complicated. It's an art in itself,
Yeah.
so
It sounds like it. My brain kind of turned into a pretzel. Like once I hear numbers, I wasn't good at math either. So you're like, oh God, it changes every time. You can't just changes every few years. Um, okay, awesome. Thank you for that. So one thing, and I don't know if this is through all the modalities, but like everyone has a sun, a moon, and a rising sign, right? Um, so what do each of those represent? Because I'm kind of confused about that.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, most people are, in astrology, most people know their sun sign.
Hmm.
So you were born April 1st.
Hmm.
So you always believe that you were an Aries, okay?
Then that's
I'm born,
Western, right?
yeah, Western.
Yeah.
But in True Sky, you're actually a Pisces, and that will
Hmm.
come to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So in in astrology, your sun sign is kind of like your identity. It's kind of like a flavoring of your personality. The ascendant is your soul's purpose. It's what you are becoming.
Okay, and that's ascendant is slash rising. Those mean the same thing,
Okay, yeah,
right?
ascendant and rising sign,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
And okay, let's talk about the ascendant. So, when you take your first breath on the planet is spinning.
Hmm.
And this is why location is really important because the location of where you were born,
Hmm.
I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. You were born in Philadelphia, PA. So, when you took your first breath, the point on the planet was pointing to a particular constellation in the sky. And that gives you your ascendant and that flavors your chart. It shows where to begin the chart, where the chart begins and what your process is of becoming your soul's purpose, what you want to manifest, how you want to communicate, where you feel safest, where your expression, where your creativity comes, how you want to apply that to day life. What is your relationship? What do you want to do as a profession? How do you want to shine? So that's your ascendant. So your ascendant gives you a flavoring of what your soul is becoming. Your moon is your emotions. Now, that's different than your feelings. So basically, your emotions are your programmed responses to, like, when this happens, you have a reaction to something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's your line of least resistance of what happens, and how you express that. Some people cry a lot, some people get angry a lot, whatever, it's emotions. But in True Sky, you're raising that to a higher level of your feeling level so that you can work through something you can maybe utilize your anger to bring you to a higher level of how you want to express your form,
Yeah.
or bring joy to something versus like crying over saying, oh my gosh, this is awful, 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 which is the path. And you program to do that, where when you bring your feelings in, saying, I'm working through something so that I can release myself and feel truly and express who I am. So your moon is your emotions.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. That explains a lot and clarified a lot for me. Thank you. Gosh, that's fascinating. Um, so I don't know if you want to get into that's pretty much all the questions I have just to lay the groundwork for what
Okay.
astrology is. And you're gracious enough. We're going to show people what a reading with you is like by you're going to give me a reading.
Well,
Thank
I'm
you.
going to show you what's very interesting about your chart is that you came here to actually work with humanity and the collective.
That's cool.
I
That's
mean, you
really cool.
actually came here for this, and we'll bring this up here. I'm going to share
Okay.
my screen here.
Yeah,
This is
hopefully.
this is your. I'm going to show you your Western astrology chart first, okay?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And did you have a question before I did this?
Well, no, I was just gonna say one thing. So it's no, it's just so is it for Western too that you need to know the date, the place, and the time, or is that just
Yeah,
sidereal?
all of it. No,
Okay.
both of them. All of it you do. You need all of that for both,
Okay.
and it still gives you your pattern.
Yeah, and everyone's unique, right?
Oh,
With
everyone's unique. You
yeah.
can have you can have two people born on the same day, but they can have parents that have different energy patterns. And so I think we discussed this when we were talking before this interview, that they did research in the 70s of a holistic healing hospital. And they took all the charts of the doctors and all the charts of the patients, and they wanted to know what was going, like how they related to each other. And they found out that the doctors and the patients had very similar patterns in their chart, except the doctors were healing the patients versus the patients were exhibiting what the doctor was healing.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
there were
that's so
just
cool.
reflections. It's just how your parents will give you a way of bringing forth what your true gifts are and what
Oh,
your challenges are as well.
yeah, that's so cool. I love that. I love that story. Because the more
Okay.
you learn about this, um, you're just like, oh my gosh, yes, yes.
All right. Okay, this is your Western astrology chart. And you have an Aquarius ascendant. You have a lot in the first house. Actually, so this is your ascendant right here. Can you see this right here?
Yes.
I, okay, 24 Aquarius. So you came in to work with humanity in a very unique way. Your purpose is to bring new hopes and wishes to the collective. Aquarian is it's we're on the age of Aquarius,
Yeah.
So you came in with that, but embedded within this, you have Venus and Mercury. Venus is what your talents are, and Mercury is how you express yourself. You have extreme psychic and intuitive gifts, but they're really hidden. So it would mean that your line of least resistance would be that you hold these things back inside of yourself and you don't want to let anybody know that you have these feelings within yourself. It's even though you want to come forth with what your truth is.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that. fits, but because
You know,
we
that fits, but I'm trying to work with someone to bring forward my gifts and my abilities. So,
Oh, you will. I mean, you definitely are. You're working with that right now. I mean, you know what? I'm going to say, Jennifer, that there's no way that you will not do that
oh
because
good.
you have so many things in your chart to show that you have these extraordinary gifts that your soul made an agreement, has a contract to come down here because your Uranus up here is conjunct the galactic center.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the galactic center. The galactic center, we have our sun and all the planets go around our sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our solar system, our sun and all the planets are in the Milky Way galaxy. And there's billions and trillions of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. But nothing is stagnant. Everything is in movement. Okay.
Yeah.
So our Milky Way galaxy is circling around a center. There's a focal point. And the galactic center is in the constellation of Sagittarius. In astrology, the constellation of Sagittarius is expansion of the truth. It's our higher mind. It's the way we perceive it's long distance travel, which means that I often think people think of long distance travel is maybe taking trips. This is a mundane astrology, but wonder if you had a deep dream state where you would astral project.
I think I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I would have a lot of flying dreams, and I just remember I didn't necessarily have control of where I went, but I would go to these different worlds. Some were nicer than others, and I just remember being so pleasantly surprised when I would arrive in one of the worlds that I liked. So I was like, yes, I love this place. Yeah, I have very vague memories of that when I was younger.
Well, that's what Sagittarius is all about, long distance travel. So when we go into the meditative state or the contemplative stage, we travel. I mean, people have the ability to be in one place and be in another place at the same time. We have that as a superhuman potential, but we're waking up to that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So your
Yeah.
Uranus. Okay, let's talk about some of the planets.
So I'm able to astral project and I'm able to be in two places at once easily if I tap into
If
that or
yes, because you
okay.
have your Saturn conjunct that. Now there's so many things that you have in your chart. This Uranus, the energy of this galactic center energy, it spills over into your Jupiter in the first house. So as you have come in as a way shower to bring people closer to the truth of what their spirit is.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's like the
Truth
name of the show. Being human now. That's the whole point of the
ex-
show.
isn't
Wow.
that ironic? You
Wow.
didn't you didn't just happen to pick that.
Yeah. Holy moly.
So
Yeah.
you have Jupiter in the first house in Aries. And Aries is about the soul. It's about the initiation. It's about taking action. It's about innocence. It's about going forward with purity. So even though you have lived a human life during this lifetime, because you've been born into our physical reality that's on the brink of change, you your soul came in with a contract to bring the truth forward of what our soul potential is, what our superhuman qualities are. And having an Aquarian ascendant is actually, and Uranus being conjunct the galactic center, being the ruler of your first house cusp, being in your 10th house, you are being a teacher to show people how to bring this truth forward. And it doesn't mean that you will do it directly. You interview people. That's the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
But it also comes back to you also being accountable for your own truth and your own purpose and being an example of that.
Yeah. That's why I came on. I try to talk about my experiences so that other people feel comfortable doing that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, your radiance, that this is what we're finding out that and you now I'm going to show you your sidereal true sky astrology too as well, but
Yeah.
right now I'm going to just show you what's happening in Western astrology.
Okay.
So I'm going to minimize this
So the stuff on the left is what we mainly focus on when it comes to like reading a Western chart,
stuff on the left.
like the of the pie, or
Oh, no.
oh
I'll go in. I can go into that more.
oh no, that's okay. You go ahead and do what you were about to do.
Okay. I have to bring this up.
This is so cool. Thank you. It's confirming and reassuring.
Oh, it is, but it goes even, it gets even better. Um, so just recently,
So now we're gonna see
yeah,
what's happening
I'm gonna
right
sh
now.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. There was a big to do about February 20th.
Mm,
Um, Neptune and Saturn in Western astrology are conjunct at zero Aries. No one knows when that happened last. It although Saturn and Neptune conjunct every 38 years or so,
hmm
never at the very 0 degrees Aries, which is the beginning of the zodiac. So, this is the eclipse that happened just before that happened. You can see Saturn here and
hmm
Neptune at 0 Aries in your first house. Okay, so this was the energy of what happened in February and how it affected you. And eclipses are an intensification of what is happening in our solar system and the sun and the moon in relationship to our earth, the earth, sun, and moon. There's an alignment that happens. But on top of that alignment, the eclipse alignment, there was this very powerful Saturn Neptune conjunction. This all is happening in your first house. What does this mean for you? It means that within the next 2 or 3 years, you are going to really discipline yourself to embrace your soul's purpose like you have never embraced that before.
Yep, I can feel it's already happening.
Now, it is even going to amplify even more when we do your sidereal true sky chart. But so this is what I'm saying. You have this matrix over you. So you cannot just throw your Western chart out. You have this matrix that has been conditioned over the last 2,000 years. So basically, so that's why Western astrology does work to an extent. But if you want to get to a deeper level of where it's going on a very deeper level, that's when you bring in the sidereal true sky of really getting to where your soul is going.
I love it.
So that said, in this particular chart, it shows that, let's see, you were born, let's see, well, you were 2 years old. I don't know what happened when you were 2 years old in 1989. Do you
I
have
don't know.
any memory of what happened to your family structure when you were two?
No, I'm trying to think. No,
Okay,
I
that's
don't know.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, um, so right now, Saturn, transiting Saturn in your astrology chart, which is this one that looks like a H with a cross on it,
hmm
is moving towards your Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of truth. It's the
Okay.
expansion of the truth. In your natal chart, that's your birth chart, you have Saturn in Aries. Now, transiting Saturn in the Western astrology chart sky right now is coming up to conjoin your natal Jupiter. So it's helping you. Saturn is a planet of definition. It's about accountability. It's about bringing forth what is truly real within you. So if you have had challenges in the past of really disciplining yourself to bring forth what you really want to, now is the time that you are going to be able to have a new birth of being able to do this for the next 28 years. So, what you're doing is that you're setting up a birth of bringing your truth forth. And your show is actually an outpicturing of that. And this can be just a stepping stone. Can't imagine you might be doing this show for a couple years, but it's a stepping stone to how you are touching people to open up their whole purpose in a whole new way. And now it's going to be even defined even more. It's really important for you to really embrace all of those inner whispers that you're going through right now. Even if you think it's trivial, you have to writing down your inner whispers, your intuition of strong impulses to do something is so important for you to take action on at this time.
Okay. So take notes on intuitions I have or things I'm drawn to.
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
as far out as it may seem, because honest, you came in, your inner self knows is so wise.
Well,
And this eclipse happening all in your first house is you are going through a great, great dynamic transformation within yourself. Now, it's very interesting, and you probably know this. You heard last year was the year of the snake, right?
yes. Yeah.
I found out some interesting fact, and then this is going to tie into your true sky astrology chart, which I'm gonna kind of switch. Okay, but before we do that,
Hmm.
I'm gonna before we do that, something else is also happening in your third house. Okay, okay. You ask a question about the different. If you have an empty house, it doesn't mean it's empty. It just means that dynamic action isn't taking place there. A lot of your action has to do with you disciplining yourself. And disciplining doesn't mean hardcore disciplining. Disciplining yourself to listen to your inner whispers, listening to what that inner voice is talking to you about. It's kind of like mind speak. You probably have this mind speak within you. You're thinking that, because we have these conversations in our brain.
Yes. Yeah, I have that. Yeah. Yeah.
Really listening to that now
Okay.
so that you can bring your truth forward. So you have come forth to do that. You have come forth to, in this lifetime, your contract was to shine so other people can shine as well. And that's
Oh,
doing the work. So it doesn't mean that your life is going to be as really easy. It means that you're going through a lot of transformative stuff all the time
yeah.
to
Yeah.
get to where you're going.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It hasn't been easy
Yeah.
for you, but you know what? It's because you've been breaking through barriers in order for you are becoming a living example. And that's what we can do, becoming living examples for others, and then it gives them permission to become who they are.
Yeah.
If you ever been in a room where no one wants to speak and you finally come out and speak your truth, and then all of a sudden people start saying, well, I know that. And it's because you had the bravery and courage to come forth to speak your truth. And once you do that, it gives people permission to do that as well.
Yeah. I love that. That resonates. And that's what I'm trying to do with the show and then in my own personal life too.
Yes.
And yeah, my gosh.
Okay, I'm going to go
Yeah.
more into this chart a little bit more before
Okay,
we
I
go
just
to
have
we
one quick
switch. Go on.
question.
Go. Oh, yes, please.
Regarding like when you asked me about family, so I was adopted when I was a month old. So when it comes to these readings, when you ask me about family, um, are we referring to my adopted family or my birth
Yes.
family? Which one?
Well,
Uh,
we don't know. Do you know much about your birth family?
Not really. That's why I was wondering. You said what happened when you were 2 months old, and I was like, well, maybe something happened with my birth family that I just don't know. That's
Two
that's.
years old, you mean? 2 years
Oh, I'm
old?
sorry, 2 years old. Yeah, yeah. You said 2 years
Um,
old. I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe no, it could I would think it's the family that raised you
Okay,
because that is the energy that was the overlay of how your introduction to living in this world.
okay, got you.
You were
Okay.
around them, you picked up their mannerisms, even though you have your own mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you could be different and not truly have all their mannerisms and wonder about that. But
Yeah.
something very interesting, you have Chiron.
Okay.
Chiron is where we have our deepest wounding. And the fourth house in astrology has to do with your home life, your foundation. You have the sign Gemini there. So your deepest wounding would be that your family didn't really listen to what you were trying to express. So what you were trying to express was minimized or pushed to the side, or what are you saying, or what is this? And so your deepest wounding is healing that you way you communicate and what you feel communicate really is the truth of who you are. And whatever has been minimized, you are working to heal that in this lifetime, knowing that what you have to offer and what you have to communicate is really important.
Wow, that resonates a lot. Yeah. When I was little, I would experience things in my bedroom, like supernatural things. I would see things, feel things, and then of course I run into my parents' room for comfort, telling them what's happening, and they never believe me, go back to sleep, it's just your imagination. And maybe that's how I kind of locked up my abilities, because I just, you're told that, well,
Well,
you're
okay,
just,
there's
I
a
don't know.
gift in that though. So what would be the gift in that? There's always a gift in what was denied. So that's what you have to look at.
Hmm. Well, it made me learn to rely on myself and to made me stronger, I guess. Like, or in some ways, it's like, all right, it's just me here. I have to be strong. I have to, I'm on my
Well,
own, kind
it's
of.
not becoming strong. I think that you had to be really convinced about what you knew because even back then, a lot of people, I mean, the psychic world is just being birthed as is really coming out in the 80s and early 90s. And a lot
Hmm.
of people, I have to say, when I first started studying astrology, it was known as fortune telling.
Yeah.
And people are still waking up to the reality of the unknown,
Hmm.
of the other side, of entities, of fairies, and the unseen world, Sasquatch. All of that has been denied for many, 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 many years. And now it's time to connect with that again.
Yeah.
So maybe you had to be around your parents to know what it had the greatest opposition to you communicating that so that you can overcome that opposition and communicate with total impeccability of I know this beyond a shadow of a doubt. And this is what is true for me.
Yes. I love that. Yes, absolutely. And I'm finally, obviously, at that point with the show, and I'm finally talking. So, yeah, I'm
Well,
done being
thank
quiet.
God.
So,
No, well, no, that's because you're in a gigantic new beginning. Okay, here's
yeah.
another thing about this. Uranus. Uranus in astrology is the planet of revolution. It's the planet of unpredictability. It's the planet of sudden changes. And transiting Saturn right now in your third house of communication is shaking up old ways that you would initiate communication so that you can come forward with what is really true and what you really value.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
really uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable because you really have to trust that. And right now it's exact. So you are in the midst of it. It started last summer. It started last summer. And
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, you couldn't contain yourself anymore because you said, I am coming forth with what I have to do. And and you just couldn't contain yourself. You were this eruption was coming up, and I have to take action, and I have to communicate what's really valuable to me.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
And it's here right now as well. Now I'm going to
Yeah.
give you another. We're
Do
talking
you
about
know, I have to say
one.
what's funny about this is I am temporarily I sold my husband and I sold our house and we are moving down south closer to my parents and currently we are temporarily living with my parents while we look for property or a house down here. So I'm literally living with my parents again for now. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So,
your Mars in your natal chart is in close conjunction to this is starseed origin conjunct the Pleiades. Now the
okay.
Pleiadian energy is heart energy. It's fifth dimensional energy. But this sensitive degree that you have an orb of your Mars is conjunct the fixed star Alcyon. Alcyon is the ancient library in the Pleiadian star system, according to Barbara Hand Clow. It's the library of the cosmos. It's a wonderful library. And you have your Mars there in Taurus. So you have the ability to access all of that to manifest the truth of some of these galactic realities that have been lost.
Oh my gosh. That's
And
big.
Uranus is shaking things up to get you out of the mode of being locked into being safe. It's time not to be safe anymore because we're in a time of stepping forward with gifts that have been long hidden, that are deep within our cosmic relationship of your wonderful biosuit that has the memory of all of the cosmos in it.
Wow. Okay.
So, this galactic memory of this ancient Alcyon, this ancient library, right now, you have the ability through your meditation, through breath work, walking in nature, tapping into the unseen realm, going in through your relationship with the ancestors, going into your dream time, and discovering and initiating to bring that forth so the collective can have a new way of envisioning where we are stepping forth to.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay.
That is that I think that's wonderful.
That is wonderful. My goodness, that's awesome. I've got a lot of work to do, Rae Ellen.
Well, you do, being down here, what we're doing, we are creating a new reality. And unfortunately, there is no template to go forward with. We are making the template.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are designing the template. And what we're
Yeah.
doing is we are relying on our gifts from our ancient past And we're weaving together so that we can go into the new reality and live from our heart-centered self.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That resonates. And I think you said we're going back to natural order.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay, so if I meditate, walk in nature, start writing things down that just pop in my head, just start writing like crazy,
But yeah,
this will
but
help me.
I'm going to let you know that it's not going to be, it's still going to be challenging, especially because you may be temporarily living with your family, and you're also going to have those doubts within yourself because even though Saturn is going to be conjoining your Jupiter in your natal chart, your Jupiter and your Neptune are square. So there's an internal struggle of really appreciating and defining what your truth is. And Saturn, so there's going to still be that internal struggle to come forth. But the thing with squares in your chart, to take you have to take action without knowing where you're going, and it's very, very uncomfortable. So to be totally honest with you, as much as all of this is happening, you'll probably be doing some of it without being in your comfort zone.
Okay. Okay. Like physically, like I'm not gonna
Well,
be homeless, am I?
no, 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 no. It's no, 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 no.
Okay.
This is gonna be a psychic uncomfortableness.
Okay.
It's gonna
Okay.
be an inner insight. It's not gonna be homeless. No, 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 no,
Okay.
no. No, yours all has to do with your inner reality.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm thank God
No,
for
it's okay.
bringing that up because no, you're not going to be homeless.
Okay.
It means that this inner reality that you have been denied all these years of minimizing and saying that you don't know what you're talking about, this is the time to meditation and listening to your guides, listening to the ancient wisdom within yourself, really listening and being able to step forward without knowing that the ground is going to be solid in front of you.
Okay.
So it's all about an internal change that's happening within you. It's all
Okay.
about internal change.
Yeah, so would example be like I say something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should say this or like make a prediction say, and then just trust that that's gonna come true probably. Like I will be vindicated type thing, but just say it anyway, even if I don't know. Or
Well, predictions we can never predict. Let's put it
okay.
that way. So yeah, predictions, well, could be changed because
Okay.
we are changing dimensionally in this reality all the time. So people will say, this is destined to happen. But
Mm-hmm.
but because of everybody's changing and growing and embracing and going to different planes, you can say, I have, you're going forward and saying, I have strong thoughts that this may be a reality in the future. I don't
Okay.
know for sure. So what you're doing is you're not setting something in stone, but you're saying, I have strong feelings that this is what I am seeing. And it may manifest and it may, through the alteration of what other people are going through, happen, but not quite exactly with what you're saying.
Got ya.
But following your intuition is really important. And all you have to do is coin and saying, I don't have a good feeling about this, or I have a great feeling about this.
Okay. Yes, yes.
So let's bring your true sky in
Okay.
up, share, because there's something very important that I want to bring forth with your true sky. Oops, I got it.
That's okay. And what can True Sky tell us? Does it differ from Western as far as what can bring
It,
forth
it,
in the
it,
chart?
well, true sky is, I feel like the Western chart is our overlay.
Okay.
It's the matrix that we have. You saw the film The Matrix.
Yeah.
It's all around it. You can't smell it. I mean, you can smell it, you can taste it, and everything like that. That is the matrix. That is what Western astrology is.
Okay. Okay.
The sidereal true sky is what Neo did, where he went to the oracle and he says, I was told I'm the one. And she said, listen, honey, you don't have what it takes. Because he didn't know himself. And
Hmm.
above the oracle's door, it said, know thyself. So,
I have that tattoo. I have that tattoo. It says know thyself.
yes,
Yeah.
see, you know.
Yeah.
So, what that means is, in when he knew himself, he became the one.
Okay. Yeah.
So, true sky is you becoming the one with who you really are. It's
Okay.
because you are beginning to know yourself. It's becoming your ancient cosmic reality. It's working with the cosmos in the natural environment. It's looking up at the sky and saying, I am that. And it's not a false reality.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the truth of where everything is in the present moment, but everything is shifting. You can't step in the same river twice, because it's always flowing. And, we are traveling through the cosmos at such a great rate of speed. We're spinning and then we're going around the sun and then the sun's going around. I mean, it's a, it's an amazing trek that we're on and the reality, but our human lineage that is coming forth right now is just so has potential to be so dynamic that it can change the matrix of everything. And from what I have heard stories about this, I have not had direct encounter with it, but from what I understand, we're being watched by all kinds of beings
Yeah.
watching us make this paradigm leap into what we are becoming because it's going to be that great.
Yeah. We're the greatest show in town right now.
Yes.
Everybody's got their popcorn everywhere watching us. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I
So let
love
me
it.
see. Okay, we're going to share oh, I don't have it here. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Look at this one. This is your
Oh, wow.
true sky astrology chart.
Okay.
Now, in the
No, this
other
is from when I was born. This is not today. This
from
is
no, no,
back.
no, this is from when you were born.
Okay.
But still, it's an amazing chart because you came through with some amazing gifts. This is I would say this is a better snapshot of what your potential is in where you're going now at a deeper level. And if you'll notice, look at around here, like look at in sidereal true sky, they have an extra sign which is called Ophiuchus. It's in
Okay.
between Scorpio and Sagittarius.
Now, is this the guy with the snake? Like I've looked at
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Yeah, what's that? What's that sky? You can pull up the constellations. What's it called? Stellarium. So, yeah, I've played around with Stellarium and
He's the
yeah,
guy with
it's
the snake. And
okay.
this is what we're going to talk about because you have two planets in the sign of Ophiuchus, which is the most healing of all of the signs.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but we're going to
Well,
go to that. But if
okay.
you'll notice here, look at Scorpio doesn't have very many degrees. This is Virgo right here, this green here. Look at how big that is. That
Yeah.
constellation is a gigantic constellation. Leo's pretty big. This is Cancer here with the two little twirls here.
Hmm.
This is Gemini, Aries. So in Western astrology, you had an Aquarian ascendant. In sidereal true sky, you have a Capricorn ascendant. Capricorn are the ancient builders.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now, in mundane astrology, that means exoteric astrology, the astrology that you read in the papers or in, the little books or magazines. Capricorn um, oftentimes is not It's not, it's, like wants to follow the rules. It's the authoritarian. It's the rule maker and all that. But in esoteric astrology, in soul centered astrology, Capricorn is the builder. It's the ancient builder of matrices. And you have in your Western chart, your Venus and your Mercury were in Pisces, which made you very psychic. It gets you in touch with those inner whispers, but you're also sometimes overly compassionate and it takes you over because you feel so much. Your Venus and Mercury in sidereal true sky is an Aquarius, making that the only way you can bring your compassion forward, your sensitivity forward, is to view everything very detached, stepping back and looking from behind your eyes, stepping back and being the witness to what happens. Because when you are consumed by the energies of, oh, this hurts so much, this and that, and the other
Yeah.
one is, I see what you're going through, I understand what you're going through, but holding yourself in such a way that you can help people through compassionately, but not be consumed by it.
Okay. Wow, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. That's why we were saying if you get too involved, you go kind of go blind. Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
this chart, your Jupiter and Sun conjunction, which were in Aries before to be the initiator, is in the sign of Pisces. So you're bringing your truth forward so the collective can manifest their truth.
Wow.
It's you out picturing that I am working on this. I am changing myself. I have a lot of work to do within myself. And I'm going to show you how that works because a focus is really important with that. But so that you are helping people manifest their dreams and helping people dream a new reality into being. Because the more
Wow.
people that can embrace their truth, live their truth, will create this new humanity that we are dreaming forth, what we're bringing forth.
Wow. My gosh. This resonates so much. I'm just like blown away because this is just like, yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for this confirmation.
So it's very interesting. In your sidereal true sky chart, you have Uranus, which is, there are three planets that are called transpersonal planets: Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. That means they're way out in our solar system. And they take a long time to go through each sign. So there are many people born around the same time period that have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in the same sign. So your group soul came in with Uranus in the sign of Ophiuchus. Now, Ophiuchus was, do you know anything about ancient Greek philosophy about Asclepius? Asclepius was the wounded warrior.
Okay.
And he was wounded because of Zeus or whatever it was. But anyway, he could heal everybody but himself. He
Okay.
was a great, great, great healer. That's Asclepius. That's the snake. And the snake the snake is very symbolic of transformational energy. The serpent is always about, let's see, transformation and rebirth. And you're holding the snake in both hands. That's what that sign is. You're holding it so that you can transform it. But the thing about being in Ophiuchus is that the only way you can heal is facing your own pain, your own poison. And once you have been able to transcend your own pain, you can have the ability to be a guide to heal others.
Okay.
So Asclepius is all about healing, transformation, and rebirth. It's the pursuit of knowledge and truth, and it's all about that. And you have Uranus there, so Uranus, remember, is the planet of unpredictability. It's rebelliousness. It's uniqueness. It's craziness. It's sudden changes. And as our Earth starts going through maybe sudden changes, you have the ability to guide people and hold that center, being the silent witness through your intuition and showing them what their new goals are, where they can be going. Because your Uranus is in the 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams. Having the ability when you're talking to people, bring out or demonstrate their unique qualities so other people can say, oh my gosh, I'm not so crazy. So you and your broadcast and you and your podcast is bringing forth people to show other people that there are other people out there like them.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Yeah, that resonates.
And you having Saturn in Ophiuchus have the ability to heal yourself at a very deep level so that you can again bring harmony forth, balancing those scales so that people can transform themselves and heal.
Wow.
Now, there's something very interesting. I want to. We were talking, then I brought this forth just a few minutes ago about the year of the snake with shedding skins. Well, we're going into the fire horse right now, and you know what I found out that's so interesting? That when the snake bites you, you can die from the venom. That horses, they abstract the blood from the horses, and it is the anti-venom drug for snake bite.
Oh my gosh. Wait, snake blood? I mean, snake blood, horse blood?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I did not know this.
I think that's really interesting because we just went through shedding of the skins and
Yes.
facing our poisons and looking at all the places where we have been so-called dying in our lives.
Yeah.
And the year of the horse is bringing the anti-venom forth so that we can creatively go forward.
I love that. I love that. Yes. Thank you for that story. That fits. And we're racing forward, right? I mean, the momentum's going to be picking up.
If you go back to
Wow.
1966, which was the year of the fire horse 60 years ago, because every 12 years the a part of the Chinese zodiac will go through, like I'm born the year of the tiger, but I'm the metal tiger. And then let's see, in 1962 there was another tiger. I'm not sure where that was, but so the last time that we were in the year of the fire horse was 1966. And oh my gosh, some of the best music ever. There was so much transformation going on. So that if we follow cycles, that's what we're looking for going forward in this year.
Yeah. Wasn't that the summer of love? Or am I making that up?
Yes,
Yes.
make love, not war. It
Yeah.
was right before, it wasn't Woodstock, I think was in 19, I don't know, it was 68 or 69. But there was so much happening then. We were in the Vietnam War. I was right around then. And it was just a precursor to going into women's rights and women burning their bras and gay rights and people becoming who they were coming and make love, not war. And look at, we're in a war now and it's not popular.
Yeah. I was just going to say
People
that.
don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. So would you say we're about to have another, this summer is going to be like another summer of love type situation, you think?
Well, I think that people are craving that. I can't say, but I know that if we are in a similar year of 1966, that was a oh my God, that they're still playing the music of that time period.
Yeah, I love
I
it. Some of
mean,
my favorite music is from that time period. Yeah.
I mean, we have music since then, but there's never been something so creative and so dynamic as that creative time period.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's exciting.
So, in this chart, in your Western chart, your moon is in Taurus. There's a part of you that wants things safe and secure before you make changes or express your feelings.
Hmm.
In this chart, it's being willing to being true to yourself. And I don't know if we'll ever feel safe for a while, at least yet, you know, because
Yeah.
I think that humanity is going to an age where we can be, you know, safe enough to express what they really feel. But they say that telepathy might be the next modality that, the superhumans will, we have telepathic. But if we were truly telepathic, we're not pure enough because I think oftentimes if we could hear other people's thoughts, what they're really, because they're not transparent yet. Transparency has to come in, but transparency starts with someone, and you and me and light body and some of these workers coming forth, and as messy as it may be, because it is messy until it's not, being truthful about what we feel. And it doesn't mean it's the truth of the reality, it's what we feel inside, helps people understand that where you're coming from. And then it gives the ability to have an actual conversation.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And it's time for that, like we've been talking about. Yeah. It's time for everyone to come forward with their truths.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that said, in Sidereal True Sky, you came forth as a teacher of showing people how to, not showing, being a way
Yeah.
shower
Yeah.
of how to heal yourself from within so that you can break up the status quo and bring forth what the real truth is, and living the real truth of where we are going as a collective at this time. So you have this. Now, you have to know your astrology chart is your potential energy. And you came in as a transformer of our everyday reality
Wow.
because you have Pluto in True Sky in Virgo. And it's about our everyday living. It's how we take care of our environment, how we eat our food, how we drink our water, programming our water. Water is very programmable. And we had that discussion.
Yeah.
And and how how we inspire others, but it's all living our everyday reality with simplicity and actually our actions out picturing who we really are inside. So you are bringing this truth forward so that people can live their own truth. And whether you do this through your interviews and you'll be working on it yourself,
Yeah.
like I said, it's messy till it's not. And what we're doing is we're laying the foundation for our humanity that will be able to do this. And humanity will rise to a very high height again, and then it will fall because everything is the in breath and the out breath.
Yeah.
The in breath, we go up. It's always transforming.
Yeah. So would you say we're headed towards a golden age? We're on our way to that?
I believe that, many people think it's the end of the planet, But I believe that yes, we apparently we reached the lowest part, the time when the avatars started coming in, Buddha and Jesus and Mohammed. They came in as way showers to say, hey, listen, there's another reality. Remember, this is your truth. All of them were right in one way or another. This is the truth of
Yeah.
being present and coming forth through love, compassion, and truth.
Yeah.
So they came in, and little by little, we're waking up to what that may be. And like I said, there is a matrix. In my opinion, there's a matrix that what we're seeing in the world is everything crumbling. So something new that can be born.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, I once heard that world means age. So yes, it's the end of the world, but it just means it's the end of the age.
Yes.
So yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for that. That was so validating, and it's gonna take me. I'm just in awe. It's gonna take me, oh, oh, excuse me, a while to digest all that, but it resonated so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
your reading was amazing. Thank you. Um, but we're getting down to the time here. So before you go, I mean, we've talked about a lot, but do you have a message here in March 2026 for everyone before we close out?
Well, yes. A couple things. First of all, Mercury's going direct, and oftentimes people freak out, kind of like, oh, Mercury's going to go retrograde. But always know when a planet goes retrograde is a time of review. And it's this time it went retrograde in Pisces. So this last month this last month or so, we've had to really, really reflect on what our psyche has been, where we are with our psyche and what we are with our intuition. And it's going to be going direct in the next day, and that's good. And Jupiter right now is a very interesting point. It's conjunct the fixed star Sirius. And so it will be there, and is Jupiter will be in this position conjunct the Syrian gateway, which is also has to do with our matrix, our DNA matrix. So again, taking action of how you can really embrace what your truth is so that you can developing a foundation of security and eating good food and being safe and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of anti what's going on because it doesn't feel very safe in the world at this time. But if you can develop a safe haven through meditation and reflection within yourself, you are becoming a channel of that, so that when you are in relationship with others, your radiance will affect them.
Yeah.
And then Uranus right now, the planet of unpredictability, which is actually directly affecting you, is coming up to the fixed star of Alcyon. And Alcyon is, like I said, the ancient library. And through our meditation right now, we have the ability to, oh, it's in the sign of Taurus in Western Astrology and Sidereal True Sky. So it's breaking up everything that is not of value to you. That means that if you think your job is your security, but inside you're saying, I hate this job, it's paying my bills, it's not aligned with what your value system is. It's giving us an opportunity. So anything that you lose on a financial level right now, anything that you lose in your life, like a relationship or a home or whatever it is, whatever you lose at this time, it means that that wasn't supporting the true value system with what you are aligning yourself to. So don't despair, just knowing greater doors are opening. And if we, again, internally reflect, go through self reflection, that we have the ability to tap into those long lost parts of ourself that are what we're truly here to bring our true talents forward.
I love it. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. And I feel it. I'm sure, and I know a lot of other people are listening right now and they're like clapping their hands like yes. And I appreciate the positive outlook you've given because it's, sometimes when we lose things, it seems like a tragedy or it's very upsetting, but ultimately, like you said, it's putting us in a better place actually. So, yeah.
And this is just the beginning because it's in Western astrology and it's going to go into Gemini, but always know that Western is a kind of like a foreshadowing. So the next thing is going to be in Western astrology. Uranus is going to go into Gemini, so it's going to help us be accountable for how we communicate. And I refer many times back to the four agreements: being impeccable with your word, don't take things personally, don't make assumptions, and do the best that you can. And when you use that through all the way you communicate, that's what we're going to be doing. So it's going to start breaking up that you're going to find out, oh, well, I could tell this little white lie. And then it's going to backfire on you because accountability in the way we communicate is going to be the next thing that Uranus is going to be breaking up. And then we're going to be finishing up until I think 2032. I'm quite sure it's 2032. Uranus will finish up in Sidereal True Sky Taurus, and then that will be the completion of us going forth with our true talents,
Wow.
what's
Okay.
really valuable to us.
Okay. Wow.
So
Exciting.
we've had
So,
a foreshadowing on a superficial level, and now it's going to go to a deeper level for people that are the way showers of like really, really coming forth with what your true talents are, what we came here for, what we've known for, what we made our contract for, you know, how we want to manifest in the world around us, what we want to manifest. And, often up different places all over the place, these tribal, communities are coming up because they're coming forth with their truth and what they want to plant and how they want to, everybody's has their true talent in this little community.
yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And that resonates. I know I keep saying that, but everything you say resonates. I love it. I love talking with you. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Right before we close out, will you tell people where they can find you? And if you have anything coming up you want people to know about right before we close down.
No, they can find me at lightbodyacademy.com and they can make an appointment if they would like a deeper reading, if they would like to, find out how all of these transits are affecting them. And what I've been doing is just putting up little snippets, forth right
Yeah.
now. I've been asked to bring forth, do a mini astrology of talking about the glyphs, and I haven't put that forth yet. I'm still trying to smooth out some parts of my life,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's a potential,
Yeah,
for the
I'm sure
future.
everybody understands that. Yeah. Um, but you do have a YouTube. You're on YouTube. People can
Oh
find you on
yes,
YouTube.
YouTube, yes,
Yes, and then they can reach out to you for your astrology readings, just like you just gave me, or
yes,
your or starseed origin chart reading.
yes.
So, okay, cool.
Lightbodyacademy.com.
Awesome. All right, and I will put the
Okay,
link in the show notes.
okay, thank
All
you.
right. All right, Rae Ellen, it was a pleasure.
Yes, it was
And
a
it
pleasure.
was a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I'm sure this is the last time you'll be on the show, but thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye, everyone.